What is up, my crafty friends? My name is Carrie and I want to welcome you to my channel. Y'all, today I'm going to share with you my secrets on what I did to make this gorgeous personalized wood tabletop. Of course, I live at the beach, so I went with a nautical theme, but I'm going to teach you tips and tricks so that you can create your very own to go with whatever decor you've got going on at your home. This is a big 36-inch round tabletop, but you're going to be able to take these same techniques that I'm going to show you, and you can make it fit any size board, any size tabletop that you want. You can either buy your own unfinished tabletop, or you can even refinish that tabletop that's already on your table right now at this very moment. I'm super excited to share this with y'all, so let's get started.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to make sure that our tabletop is clean and sanded, and then we're going to go ahead and stain it. While that's drying, I'm going to hop in Cricut Design Space and I'm going to create a new canvas. My tabletop is going to be 36 inches round, so I'm going to go ahead and make my circle, and I'm going to change this to white, and I'm going to make sure that it is 36 inches. I'm going to go ahead and type in my words. I love this saying. I'm going to use the font Annie Lou. This is super cute. And now that Cricut Design Space has done the kerned update, y'all, this makes making your letters connect so much simpler. So next I want to curve my words, and to do that I'm just going to pull out my words to make them just a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to click the curve button. I'm going to pull that until it is the same size circle as my 36 inch. I don't want this to go all the way to the edge, so I'm just going to play around with it. I'm going to move my letters out a little bit, kind of play around with it a little bit until it is perfect. I've got a little bitty space here, so in the middle I'm going to put a compass. And to add that image, I'm just going to go and select images, type in compass, and scroll down until I find one that I like, and I really love this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center here, and I'm going to resize this. I'm going to be working on a 12 by 12 mat, so I want to make sure that my design, I don't want to have to do it on more than one mat. So I'm going to make sure that this compass design fits on that one particular mat. Okay, I'm really loving how this is looking so far. But one thing I don't like is the way that the words are starting on the right hand side. I would rather they start on the left. So let's spin this around and you can see what I'm talking about. See how may your anchor be tight? I don't like it starting on that side. I want it to start on the other side. So that's a super easy fix. So I'm going to go back to my curved little tab, and I'm actually going to spin the diameter the other way. I'm working on a really large canvas. This is 36 inches, so that's why it's a little bit hard for me to get on one shot here, so I'm having to scroll up and down. Now let me grab this and let's spin it around, and you can see that it looks much better this way. But just play around with it and see which way you like your words going better. Just don't be afraid to play around with it. Nothing's permanent until you hit make it. Okay, I'm liking this so much better. Now before I spin it around, I want to go ahead and add in an anchor in between that space. So I'm just going to type in anchor into my images, scroll down until I find one that I really like. I like this super skinny one here. I think it's going to go nice with the design. And I'm just going to put that in that blank space. Let me resize that super quickly. And that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to grab my words and my anchor together, and I'm going to hit group. Next I'm going to grab my little spinny thing, and I'm going to spin that anchor until it is all the way at the north top part. You don't have to do this, but I just want to be able to get a good visual to make sure that it's looking like I want it to. I'm going to actually be piecing all of this together, so really it doesn't matter as far as placement at this point. Okay, so now we can get rid of that circle. We are done with that. And if you just want to get a little bit better visual, you can change your colors of your components. They don't have to stay black, but this middle part is going to go away in just a second, so I'm just going to change it to red and leave it be for just a moment. Okay, now it's time to slice our design, and to do that I'm going to pull in a square. I'm going to change this square to a 12 by 12 because that's the size cutting mat that I'm using. Let me go ahead and just hide this little compass because we're not ready for that yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and send to the back my white square. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but it'll make sense in just a moment. So now we are going to slice it, but whoops, look, the slice option is not available because y'all, I still have this grouped together from where we spun it around earlier. So once we ungroup it, now our slice option is there. It's going to take it just a second for everything to populate. Once it populates, you can go ahead and just get rid of those pieces that you don't want. So let's just go ahead and delete these other two pieces. And I'm going to repeat the same process and go around the circle until I've got everything in a square. Y'all, I know this may look just a little bit intimidating, so let me go over it again. So we're just going to grab our square shape. I'm going to go ahead and change the color to white just because it's easier to see. I'm going to resize it to a 12 by 12. Then I'm going to right click on that square and make sure that I send it to the back so that my words can come to the front. I'm going to move it over the piece that I want to slice. I'm going to hit slice, wait for it to populate, and then just get rid of all of the excess. And y'all, it's that easy. We're just going to go all the way around our design until we've got everything that needs to be sliced so that we can put it on our mats that are 12 by 12 size. Next we can hit make it, and that's going to pull up our mats. Okay, so now you can see it's sorting our mats by the color, and we've got one here that is actually a little bit too large, but no worries, it's a super easy fix. I'm actually going to move several of these around and put them together on the mats the way that I want them to be so that I can actually get the most surface area. I can put more words together. So to move these, we're just going to highlight the section we want to move, and you've got three little dots here. When you click Move Object, it's going to bring up a new screen. You can either move it to one of these other mats that are showing, or you can create your own. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new one. Then I'm just going to move all of these over so that it fits on that 12 by 12 mat. I'm going to do the same thing with the anchor. I'm going to move it to a different mat. So again, we'll click the three little buttons, Move Object, and then I'm going to just click one of these other mats that has room for that anchor. And we're just going to move that over, spin it around, and there we go. Now I've gone ahead and I've put my clear vinyl onto three different mats. Because we're not going to be using the vinyl, you can use any color you want. I just happen to have an excess of clear, so that's what I'm going to be using. I do like going ahead and having my mats prepared ahead of time because when you're cutting several mats like this, it's just easier. You don't have to wait and unload one and get it weeded out. You can just pop the next one in. You can weed out your other design while your next one is cutting. So it is super, super easy to have several mats for this reason. And again, I'm using clear because that's what I had a lot of, but you can use any color you want to because we're actually just making a stencil. Okay, so I've got all of my designs weeded out. I've already got my transfer tape on them. I've got it mocked up here, and y'all, it is going to be so stinking cute. Now to apply this transfer, I'm actually going to use the hinge method. And if you're not familiar with the hinge method, it's basically where you just take your vinyl design, you're going to peel back that bottom layer that has the paper on it, and we're just going to make a hinge. You're going to need both hands for this. So using my left hand, I'm going to pull back that paper, and using my right hand, I'm going to smooth everything down. And y'all, this is the best way that I have found to be able to put down big transfers using that hinge method. Once I pull out that transfer tape, I'm just going to use a warm blow dryer to make sure that it's laid down really nicely before I start putting on my paint. For this, I'm going to use some outdoor acrylic paint. You can use any brand that you want to. Just make sure if you're going to be using it outdoor, you do use an outdoor paint. And we're just making a stencil, y'all. So I'm using a flat brush, and I'm using a pouncing method because that's the best way to use a stencil. You don't want to rub back and forth. You just want to pounce up and down. So I'll go all the way around my design, hit it with my blow dryer to dry, and then peel off all of that transfer. And y'all, here it is. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now I'm just going to repeat the same process using all of the rest of our pieces that we've cut out for our stencils. Same process, put down our clear transfer, hit it with our paint, hit it with our blow dryer, wait for it to dry, and then peel everything off. Y'all, if you don't want to go for this aged look, it would be a lot easier to just go ahead and use black vinyl. But because I am going for that aged look, the paint worked better for me. So now I'm going to age it, and to do that, I'm just going to take some super fine steel wool, and I'm just going to very lightly pull some of that paint off. I want it to look like it's been weathered and aged, and I think that's going to just make it look that much more special.
I am going to put this tabletop outside on my little bistro table that I've got out in my front yard. It's sort of like our little conversation set where a bunch of the girls in the neighborhood and I kind of gather, have a glass of wine in the afternoons, and it's just a fun little area. So this tabletop is totally going to set it apart. I've refinished it, I've freshened it up for this summer, and I cannot wait to show y'all the finished product. Be sure to stay tuned for my next upcoming video to find out how I plan on sealing this to be put outside. But in the meantime, let's see what it looks like on my table. Y'all, I think it's beautiful. It's perfect. I love the aged look. I can't wait to get it sealed. It's going to be so awesome sitting out in my front yard. I think my kitty cat even approves. What do y'all think? That does it for today's video, y'all. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up because that would mean the world to me. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to turn on all those notifications if you don't want to miss anything I've got coming your way. Until next time, happy DIYing, y'all.